moments that you dream about.
Loves it up, and he gets it. Are you kidding me? What an interception! My, oh my! Huge hit. Ball is out. The ball is out. That was sick. Unbelievable.
We keep thinking we've seen it all, and we never have we?
Oh, that's a nice truck. Imagine being in the market for a truck and not pulling the trigger on a beauty of a Ram. What are you doing, dude?
Ball security.
What are you doing? Welcome into the Kickoff, presented by Ram.
My hands are a little sticky.
Gary Striewski, Randy Scott alongside. We're going to have a lot of fun with this football today.
Right.
We're going to have a lot of fun with the college football that's on tap for Saturday. And we wet our whistles.
Ooh.
We wet our whistles this week. We got the college football playoff
Just getting our little beaks wet.
There's a lot to dive into.
Golly.
1 through 12. BYU gets handed its first loss. They're at 12. We're not going to run through all 11, but the SEC is well represented.
4 out of
Bama,
12, okay.
Georgia, Ole Miss, and Texas. And to me, you can make an argument that the first team out, which is Tennessee, is actually ranked, what do we got there?
11.
11? No, I don't know. But they should be in my opinion. They're not. A lot of reaction at first blush. What note jumps out to me? Boise State hosting a playoff game?
Which is amazing. They're going to be the highest ranked group
is that
of
what
five,
jumps out to you?
Group of 5 team. Yes, it's interesting though because you have to look at the playoff seeding and then actual ranking because they're ranked 12th, which I think is disrespectful. They have the best loss in the country to still the #1 team in Oregon by 3 points.
Does it matter? Does it make the rankings really matter if
it
this is
does
what you end up
when
doing?
it does when you look at a Notre Dame team who is just getting by on not having to play and win a conference championship game, and the fact that they have the mystique of being Notre Dame. When you have SMU, a 1-loss team, that's a first team out, and then Tennessee also in that same sort of predicament.
2 losses for Tennessee.
But there's a half dozen teams in the SEC with 2 losses. 3 of them are in the initial bracket right here, and Tennessee's on the outside.
Georgia, Ole Miss,
looking
Bama.
into it, and I get it. They recently came upon that loss against Georgia, but there's a couple of questionable things. For the most part, I think the committee of 13 down in Grapevine got it right. I'd like to see. I mean, Boise State has a bye, so I guess you can only give them so much respect. But again, I think they're a sleepy team.
Oh, sure.
That people shouldn't sort of disrespect and count out, especially with the ability to host the playoff game.
The first 2 out are SMU and Tennessee.
Yes.
I feel like Tennessee has as good of a resume as any of the teams that are in from the SEC. The 2-loss teams being Georgia, being Alabama, being Ole Miss that are in there as well. The problem is head-to-head, Georgia beat Tennessee and beat them pretty handily.
Recently.
But head-to-head, Tennessee beat Alabama, and that's what's fascinating is, listen, we can get up in arms, we can bellyache and gnash our teeth about these rankings now. What really matters are the final rankings.
Correct.
And what really I hope to see is an emphasis on head-to-head when we get to the final rankings. And I don't say that as an anti-Georgia take, but if we're talking about, let's say Texas, who's right now representing the SEC, has that first-round bye. Let's say they lose to Texas A&M.
Okay.
And then you've got the scenario where Georgia has 2 losses and they beat Texas, who also has 2 losses. They beat Texas head-to-head. Alabama has 2 losses. So does Tennessee. Tennessee beat them head-to-head. Like, where are you going to slot it? Is it eye test? Like, what does the committee use to delineate?
So they're going to use the SEC championship game, and that's why
that'll weigh a little bit.
A bunch of our college football analysts last week on SportsCenter said right now, I mean, you just named the Texases and the Georgias and the Alabamas who are currently in the college football playoff bracket, but Ole Miss might be the most impressive lately. Lane Kiffin and Jackson Dart, they're clicking. 600 yards of total offense the week prior. Then they beat Georgia. Biggest home win for them. To catapult them back into the CFP picture. So right now, I mean, we're mentioning Texas, we're mentioning Bama, we're mentioning Georgia. I like Ole Miss.
All right, well, let's get to the Big Ten. Oregon is the #1 team in the country. You still got to wrap your mind around Oregon being a Big Ten team, but they're in there, and they have the first-round bye representing the conference championship that they are implied to win in the Big Ten. One of these teams is going to have something to say about that. In the Big Ten championship game, are we going to get a rematch between Ohio State and Oregon, or is Indiana going to take care of business against Ohio State? This has massive college football playoff implications. If this is the only loss for Indiana, do they have to keep it close?
They have to keep it close.
Okay, style points here.
But generally speaking, we're supposed to have the answers to the questions that we tee up. This is truly one of the most confounding questions we have, probably in recent college football history.
Well, and in life, right? It's where do babies come from?
Exactly.
And then it's also what do you do with a one-loss Indiana?
Where do they come from? Because you have 3 of them, so you would know.
Love.
Okay.
Love, and there's a stork. We can get into
Okay,
it. We'll do it later.
Totally understand.
Yeah.
But Indiana, right, they have the numbers that are like, oh, yeah, this team is going to be playing Oregon in the Big Ten title. And then you take a look at their resume, and I know that's what everybody's beating down on, but it's the one thing that's sticking out. They haven't beat a top team in the Big Ten. They haven't beat a ranked team all season. So tomorrow in Bloomington, biggest game in the program's history, we are going to learn a lot about who Indiana is, or more importantly, who they aren't.
Well, it's in Columbus.
That's
But no, it's totally fine. But I think we're going to learn that Indiana's a good football team.
Okay.
I think we're going to learn they haven't been tested.
Sure.
Well, you always say iron sharpens iron.
That is what I say.
Then this is the dullest iron we got. Because they haven't played anything.
They
haven't played.
It looks like a sword.
Another team
like a
with
sword.
any iron to them.
Sure.
They're going to get a test. I think they're going to lose. I think they're going to keep it close. And it's just going to make the chaos surrounding 12 teams in this playoff all the more interesting. When we had a 14 playoff, it was like, oh, it needs to be expanded. We need to have more teams. It'll take the guesswork out of it. No, it's just more guesswork and more fun for us. All right, time now for Built for Success, presented by Ram Trucks. As we're putting our focus on the matchup in Columbus, it's Indiana coming to town. They're undefeated. Top 5 matchup, major Big Ten and CFP implications. It's quite possibly the biggest game in Indiana's football history. They're looking to exorcise some demons, as the Hoosiers have lost 29 straight against Ohio State. Last beat them in 1988.
Whoa.
And we're going to break out the touchscreen for this one.
I was 1.
You were a year old?
Oh, he's a single 8-year-old.
88, I was 6.
Whoa.
And I went to the White House Easter egg roll.
Do you remember that?
No. Well, yes. I saw Ronald Reagan.
Who was in office?
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald.
Ever heard of him?
Dude, I have heard of him. Great actor.
Jelly beans?
Missed me.
All right, we're at the touchscreen. We have the individual categories. We're going to pick either Indiana or Ohio State. What is the first category that you have? I've got offense. Offense is the first category. Whose offense are you taking?
Okay, this one's kind of tricky because Indiana tops in the nation points per game, and that's cool. But then again, you have to harken back to who have they played, and it's the bottom half of the Big Ten strength of resume and strength of schedule. Meanwhile, Ohio State has bona fides, 2 awesome running backs, and quite possibly the best true freshman receiver in the country in Jeremiah Smith. And for that reason, I want to go Indiana so bad. Give me Ohio State.
Yeah. Give me Ohio State as well, please.
Okay.
I want to go.
That's nice.
I want to go Indiana. I love what Will Howard's doing. He's protecting the football. Touchdown interception ratio is tremendous.
They spread it out, let it fly, man. Indiana hanging up 50 points a game, but
I think it's going to be the running backs, honestly. And it's no slouch in what Indiana brings to that side of the ball. But Travion Henderson, Quinson Judkins for Ohio State, I think it's too much. All right, defense. Who has the edge on the defensive side of the ball?
I am going, and it's not just 11v11. I'm going who has the home advantage here. Game day is going to be there.
Okay.
Biggest game in Indiana history. I have to imagine that's going to be a raucous crowd. I have to imagine they're going to show up. They're going to show out, throw the stats out the window. Yes, Ohio State perennially has a good defense, but they get it. I mean, they get a true 12th man in the Hoosiers in this game. It's not a night game. They want it like that, but give me Indiana.
Why isn't this a night game? And why wasn't Penn State a night game?
Let me just tell you,
it just doesn't make a ton of sense. It feels like it should be.
Our network certainly would have put it on.
So you're giving Indiana. Wait, you chose Indiana?
Indiana's defense.
Indiana's defense. Give me Ohio State's defense.
Okay.
So
you have the stats to back it up, but I'm going off of vibes here.
No, I totally understand it. Ohio State, what they did against Penn State, which is another. So this is the third top 5
Penn
showdown
State have a good
of the season.
Offense, though.
For Ohio State. They did coming in. They did coming in. They left without it. And my fear for Indiana is this is going to be a hard reset in terms of offense. They're going to come in, get their bells rung, and maybe, I'm not saying they lose to Purdue, but maybe there's a little bit of a hangover effect. I just think Ohio State will get after the quarterback early in offense. Coaching advantage is the third one. Before you answer,
all right,
you're going to answer it? We're going to hear from one of the coaches in this one. He's the most quotable coach.
It's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
This dude, okay.
And that's why.
Later that day.
That's why.
You talk about having a tremendous day at the microphone. Later that day, he went to the Indiana basketball game. He's at center court. He's addressing the stadium. He's addressing the arena. And he says, Purdue sucks, and so does Michigan, and so does Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of being backseat. I don't take a backseat to anybody.
And then
that's
they
Coach
beat
Sig.
Michigan. shortly thereafter.
Okay.
That Michigan isn't what they were last year.
No, but they already beat Michigan.
We totally understand
Hey, ask Ohio State how tough it is to beat
And
Michigan.
now it's a top 5. Hey, specifically ask Ryan Day.
Ask
That's
Ryan
why
Day.
I'm going with Kirkson.
All right.
Even from what
Same.
he did at James Madison.
Yeah.
All right, at JMU, he made those guys a winner. Game Day was there last year.
Yeah.
Then he gets the job at Indiana. By the
Yeah.
way, they gave him an extension to the tune of double what he's making
$8
now.
million a year.
Before
Yeah.
he has to play Ohio State, which is genius level
Yeah.
business acumen from Signetti and his rep. They're like,
Can you-
ink me now before I play Ohio State.
Give me Indiana on the coaching.
Yeah, you have to.
We don't need. Hey, Coach Sig doesn't need a Chip Kelly to come in and run his offense.
Yes.
And take some of that burden off of him. We're going to go with Coach Sig.
And not to hearken on what Ryan Day has and hasn't done.
Yeah.
But in big games, generally speaking, against the team up north,
Sure.
he lays an egg.
Yeah.
He doesn't beat big teams in big
Okay.
moments. This is a big
Okay.
team in a big moment.
Celebrity fan. And I'm going to read them off before you answer. For Indiana.
Yep,
All right, who has the best celebrity fan? David Letterman,
Okay.
Mark Cuban.
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to think of who else. I don't want to say the third name on here.
Michael Jackson. He's from Gary, Indiana.
That is the name. It didn't end well for MJ. You're going with Indiana? You haven't even heard Ohio State. LeBron James, Bryce Harper, John Legend, Rascal Flatts.
Gary LaVox or Rascal Flatts?
Rascal Flatts. The entirety of the band.
Okay.
I'm adding that. That's just an ad lib on my part.
Okay, if this was Gary LaVox specifically, I would consider changing because
Gary stick together.
But Bryce Harper's from Las Vegas. Why is he an Ohio State fan?
Well, he's a Yankee fan too. Like he's
Exactly.
Or grew up a Yankee.
And John Legend,
Yeah.
irrelevant. Who are you going with?
I'm gonna go with Indiana. I love David Letterman. Yeah, I love David Letterman. That's what we're doing.
There we go.
Okay, the last one.
Is David Letterman the greatest late night host in that?
I love Conan O'Brien though.
Jay Leno. Jay Leno's goated. Stop it. Are you serious? Are you serious? Now I can.
I thought I knew you, dude.
Now I
All
can
right,
understand.
better movie for Indiana, Hoosiers.
Okay.
For Ohio, Major League. Put me down for Ohio State right now.
Okay.
Put me down for Ohio State. Major
Okay.
League is one of the best movies of all time.
I understand that, but it wasn't.
Hoosiers is overrated.
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Yes.
Only because I haven't seen Hoosiers.
You are one of the worst cinematic attendees.
Many blind spots.
Viewers, yeah.
And
yet you've seen all of the Police Academy movies, like every single one.
Police Academy.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm like, Gary, you seen Star Wars? He's like, no. I'm like, but have you seen all of the Harry Potter? I've seen all the
Every
Harry Potter
Transformer.
movies, too. Yeah.
I'm
Every
locked-
Transformer
I'm locked-
movie?
yeah, it's-
Tell the people when they can watch.
Based on a true story. Many of them. This also based on a true story. If you have internet, we'll set you up on a Saturday countdown to game day from the site of, where was game day at this week?
They're in.
They're in Columbus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ohio State, Indiana. Christine and the two Harrys are going to get you set up in the nightcap. It's Scooby and crew putting a bow on the night that was and the day that was your week 12 across college football. Everywhere you got internet.
All right, we're back with Gary Striewski, who is kind of the Taysom Hill of his high school football team. The longer you hang out with Gary, the more you talk about high school football, the more it turns out he did when he was on the team. Backup. So starting quarterback, backup kicker, and
starting ex-receiver.
and return
I
kicks.
did slot,
Great.
and then I was the backup
This
kicker.
is all great.
Yeah.
My hot take is some of this might be embellished.
It's not.
We have other hot takes about the college football
Time
playoff
out.
field.
I'm embellishing about being a backup kicker?
No, about
Listen to what you just said.
starting ex-receiver.
Listen to what you just said. Yeah.
Your 40 time is still going.
That's why I was the X,
Okay.
bro.
All right.
The Y.
Here's hot take.
Flanked out.
Hot take. You tell me if it's too hot to
Yeah.
handle.
Yeah.
Or if it's right, like it's a perfect temperature.
Okay.
Boise State is going to play in the national championship game. Is that? And I'm going to back it up. Let me quantify it for a second. They could host a playoff game.
Right now,
Right out of the
position
gates,
two.
that's a win.
Okay.
I don't envy anybody, SEC or otherwise, who has to travel to the Smurf turf and take on a team that is going to run it down your throat.
Correct.
What does running do? Even with a home run hitter like Ashton Jensen,
Yeah.
it limits the number of possessions. It puts
Correct.
greater stress on your offense. If you have 1 or 2 turnovers, it's a wrap. It's over. They host a playoff game. They win a playoff game. And from there on, it's all about styles making fights and the matchup that they would have in the second round.
Yeah, ball control is definitely in the favor of Boise State. They have the best offensive football player, not named Travis Hunter, in the country. As it sits right now, they get the bye. They would host something between, right now, BYU and Ohio State.
They're beating both of those teams. They're beating both of those teams on a neutral field, let alone out in Boise.
They get to a semifinal. Listen,
Yeah.
you could probably convince me that based off of the way the bracket has to lay out now, and now there's just more chaos,
Yeah.
that they can get to a national title.
Yeah.
Winning a national title.
Not winning. Just that they'll reach the national title game.
Being a one-trick pony as it relates to being in this bracket, and that's actually a compliment of one-trick pony. Ashton Genty, again, all-world, everything, running back.
We're going to get to him.
They're not going to make a title game. That take, while you can convince me, just a touch too hot.
A little too hot. All right, your hot take is scalding. It's
here
Notre Dame.
Here we go.
Notre Dame is the most. Well, I'm not even going to say it.
Notre Dame, the most overrated team in the CFP top 12.
Yeah.
And it's not even close.
We work with Hannah Storm. I want to be able to look her in the eye. You apparently don't care about that friendship.
Well,
what do you got?
The knock on Notre Dame is they have the worst loss in the country. At home. That was many, many weeks ago. Since then, have they won a couple ranked games? Yes, they beat
Navy.
They beat Navy to end that undefeated season. Everybody saw that coming. Navy was a house of cards. It was smoke and mirrors. They don't do well on ground. Again, they are amphibious creatures.
And through the air, Top Gun.
But this week they get a real test, a real service academy.
A real service academy.
Army. They're 15.5-point favorites. Yet still, look at this slate. They beat Navy, who was ranked.
Steamroll Army.
Week 1, Texas A&M ranked. They beat
Louisville.
So overrated.
Louisville's overrated.
Most
too.
overrated.
Yeah.
You're saying
overrated.
what? Are you agreeing with that?
This is your hot take, and when I look at the field, I believe that they have the weakest resume.
Sure.
And I don't understand the weakness of the resume relative to the just surefire. Of course, the playoff field, Notre Dame, middle of the pack, pencil them in. It's not a lock to me. If they're in a conference, if Notre Dame is in a conference, I don't know that we're having this conversation. I think they're a middle of the pack, maybe a upper middle class team within a certain conference.
Two things right now, and you definitely know something about being upper middle class, for sure. Silver spoon, all of that. Indiana, as it relates. You had a pool in your house growing up, okay?
Not in the house.
Was it above ground or in ground?
We had we had our pool at one of the military houses.
Was it above ground or in ground?
It was in ground.
It was an in-ground pool. Thank you very much. In-ground pool. Hold your privilege. Indiana, though, right now might be the most overrated. They don't have a ranked win.
They don't have a ranked win yet.
So tomorrow is going to be the deciding factor whether or not Indiana the most overrated.
All right, hot take now is we're going back to the well with Boise. I'm a fan of this team. I'm a fan of this man.
Is that well in ground as well?
Well, wells are in ground. That's how wells work. All right, this is Ashton Genty. He should win the Heisman no matter what. I believe that. I believe that when you compare it to running backs who have won this award in years past. I mean video game guys.
I understand.
Reggie Bush.
I understand.
Not just Derrick Henry. Go back to Reggie Bush. Go back to other running backs who won. His numbers
I understand.
far
I understand.
that.
I understand.
There's no quarterback to win it, like a surefire quarterback.
I understand, but this is very much one of those same situations where it was like, yeah, I would have been the best player in the NBA if I wasn't born and playing in the same era as Michael Jordan, right? This guy is putting up
at the wrong time.
This guy's putting up video game numbers, but Travis Hunter is doing something that we've never seen. We don't have a baseline for comparison with what Travis Hunter is doing. Maybe games
Charles
now.
Woodson. Maybe.
And
he's
the crevasse and the valley between Charles Woodson and Travis Hunter, not even in the same ballpark right now. Travis Hunter has 3 games so far this season with 3 to play, with a touchdown and an interception. We've never seen that happen before in the history of college football. We have baseline measurables to see how impressive Ashton Genty is.
Yeah.
Which, again, if this was a season that didn't have Travis Hunter, he's running away with it.
Let's get to Travis Hunter, though, because your last hot take is about Colorado.
Yes.
And you say that Colorado will win the Big 12 title.
Not a hot take.
Bulldoze/stampede their way into the CFP. And if you'd stopped there,
perfect.
Great. But you kept going. You said en route to a natty.
Okay.
En route to a national championship.
Did I get a little overzealous?
Explain yourself.
Were my eyes a little hungrier than my tummy?
For sure. You were at the buffet.
And that's why you have to go to buffets just a little bit satiated.
A little something in
just
the
you can't
crackers on the way.
You can't go to the grocery store fully hungry.
Well, road snack.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything leading up to winning the CFP, I fully subscribe to. I co-sign that. Give me all of that.
You wrote it.
Well, of course. I typed it. It's 2024. Sure. You want to be a hot team going into a stretch of games that actually matter. Is it nice to start the season hot? Yeah, sure. You want to end the season hot. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? National championship aspirations, I don't know. BYU did themselves no favors in terms of setting up a Big 12 championship and having them be the runaway favorite, because now everybody wants to see CU do something impressive in the CFP. Can they win a game in the bracket of 12?
Sure.
Yes. Can they win the whole damn thing? I don't know about that.
They don't play.
But then again, I mean,
that
we're
brand
on
of
Sports
defense
Center every
necessarily.
weekend, and nobody is saying
Right.
this team in the SEC is the clear runaway favorite, and the Big Ten needs to figure themselves out.
Okay, one of the teams that we do talk about leading the SEC in that discussion is Texas. As we get to this look of notable games on Saturday, we start with third-ranked Texas, and they get a test from Kentucky, and you're like, all right, easy, Randy. Easy,
No,
Rando.
Kentucky is a
Settle
spoiler
down. This Wildcat defense is legit. Longhorns' final home game of the regular season, top contender for the SEC title game, possible first-round bye in the CFP. They control their own destiny with a shot at the SEC title game in their path if they win the final 2 games. That starts with Kentucky. What about Arizona State? Frisky is the Sun Devil. They host BYU, 3:30 Eastern. BYU coming off the first loss of the season. They can clinch a spot in the Big 12 title game with a win and a loss by either Iowa
I like
State
those orange accents on Arizona
or
State's.
Colorado. That's actually against
uniform.
Oklahoma State, the video that you're looking at now. Cougs will have to get through Arizona State's perfect 5-0 record at home this season. BYU's a dog. The team 4-0 outright on the season when they play under those odds. Boise State also with orange. We missed an opportunity there. 7 p.m. Eastern. They're at Wyoming. Broncos looking to back up their CFP ranking this week in a Mountain West road clash. They come in as a heavy favorite. They won 17 of the previous 18 meetings.
I'm taking the points, though, with Wyoming.
6 games with $150 and 3 scores this season. And then Alabama, 7th ranked, 7:30 Eastern on ABC. They're at Oklahoma. It's in Norman, as we said. Bama seeking a win, seeking its CFP chances to jump to 85% if they do it. A loss would knock that number down to 23%. Crimson Tide has not lost 3 games in a season since 2010. All right, time now for another battle of the anchor weights. Gary is holding a football, and it's not just decorative. This man was a backup kicker in high school. We're going to remind
Varsity
people,
what? Varsity receiver. As a
Blues.
sophomore. We never won any games.
Your laugh. Season leaderboard looks like this.
Get him, Mox!
4-2. I'm in the lead. Listen, it's not a contest. Only it is.
Well, here's the thing. You recall the Super Bowl where the Atlanta Falcons were up 28-3? Welcome back to the Super Bowl.
All right, we are playing categories. I'm ignoring that. We're playing categories this week. Let's see. We're going to show a category on the monitor. We're going to go back and forth trying to name as many answers that fit in that category. We had 60 seconds each.
Love that.
And every time we answer, throwing the ball back and forth. Okay? 60 seconds on the clock.
And then the last one stuck with the ball, potentially losing.
It's
rules.
not 60 seconds each, right? No, it's just 60 seconds in general.
60 seconds might not seem like a long time, but that's a long time, right?
It's enough time is what it is.
Yeah.
It's enough time.
It's enough time.
Honestly, we can answer multiple times.
That's what I'm...
in 60 seconds, truly. So, let's go. Let's fire up the category. What is the first category? Minute on the clock. Teams that have won a natty since 2000 in football.
Clemson.
Clemson, LSU.
Alabama.
Ooh. Georgia.
Oh. Ohio State.
Ohio State. Florida. Florida.
You sure about that?
Yeah. Since 2000? Tim Tebow? We work with him?
I just double... Hey.
He's your supposed friend?
Just double checking. Hey, Florida State.
You're buying time. Florida State.
James.
Miami.
Oh.
It's 2000.
That is a good one.
It's accurate. It's accurate.
Okay. Let me see.
Come on.
That might just about do it if we're being honest with us.
20 seconds. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Oklahoma.
Really?
All right. Michigan.
Michigan. I forgot about I forgot about Michigan.
What else you got? What else do you have to tell me? I can think of one.
Georgia.
Nope, you don't. No, that clock hit
No,
zero.
no, it didn't.
I said Georgia.
No, you didn't. When did you say Georgia?
I said Georgia. Positive I said Georgia.
Are you sure?
You know one that we missed? And it's embarrassing because he now works here.
Auburn.
We missed Auburn.
We missed Auburn.
Is that the only one? Oh, USC in 2004.
USC. Texas.
Oklahoma, you're right. The year 2000. Since 2000, that
Jason
works.
White.
That works.
You said Georgia?
Jason White, no, it was Heupel. Heupel was the quarterback.
That's right. That's right.
Jason White was on the team
1-0
that lost
Gary.
to USC. 1-0 Gary? No. Hold on. All right, next one. Heisman Trophy winners in the last 15 years. You ready?
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel.
What year?
That's not the game. That's not the game at all. Go on with it.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I know you are.
Derrick Henry.
Who? Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
All right. COVID year. Not a lot of people remember it. Devontae Smith.
Many people remember COVID.
Not a lot of people. No, COVID, yes.
Okay.
Devontae Smith. Not as much. Since 2009.
Probably the only receiver on this list. Mark Ingram.
I literally just named a receiver. Oh, you're saying the only Got it. Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
Little proximity bias.
An easy one.
Yeah, just
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray. Ooh, also since 2009. Also since Caleb Williams.
Oh, that's a good one.
Caleb Williams.
What can I? Baker Mayfield.
I hate you so much. Do I lose because I was holding the ball at the end? Or do I? Yeah, I do. I probably do. It's probably the rule. I don't know. It's the rule. Baker Mayfield. Bryce Young. Dang it, Bryce Young. Okay. God,
I mean,
Bryce
this was
Young.
an easy one. We could have gone on. But
I know.
You were filibustering.
I was not filibustering.
nah.
I forgot about Lamar Jackson.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Forgot about Lamar.
Mariota? Oh, okay. All right, next category. That was bad. It's a bad showing for you.
I like this game. You know,
bad
our
showing for you.
producers
Teams in the
do a great job.
SEC. Teams in the SEC.
Oh.
Ooh, Bama.
Missouri.
You went with like the worst one. Texas A&M.
Mississippi State.
Mississippi.
Oh. Ole Miss.
Yes, Ole Miss. Yes. Oh no. It's fine. I got him.
Oklahoma.
Okay. Florida.
Oh, are you sure about
Positive.
that? Louisiana State University.
Auburn.
Oh, Vanderbilt.
Okay. Why? Kentucky.
Oh.
Ooh.
Did you already say Florida?
Yes, I did.
Okay, then I'm going to say Alabama.
Okay, already said that too.
did it?
Yes, I did.
Auburn.
I led off with
Auburn.
Alabama.
Auburn.
No, Auburn?
Auburn.
Okay. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
I don't know if you are. I'm not 100% sure. Tennessee.
You were waiting for the clock.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, 2-1 me. That's fine. All right.
What?
What's the next one? What did we miss? What didn't we get
South
to?
Carolina.
South Carolina.
That's it. Oh, and Arkansas.
South Carolina. Okay. All right. Is that it? I think we're ending it. And I won. Oh, one more. Oh, ooh.
2-1. I got it tied up right here.
All right. We already did teams in the SEC. The next category. Head coaches that have won a national title since 2009. Go.
Let me see here.
Head coach.
Kirby. Smart.
Yes. Nicholas Saban.
Oh. Otherwise known as?
Nick Saban.
Dabo
Swinney. Since 2009. Ooh, that means. Jimbo Fisher.
What year?
Florida State.
What year?
With Jameis. 29.
Let me see.
Come on. Yeah. Oh, I got one.
Go Tigers.
Ed Orgeron?
Ed Orgeron. 2020.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then he got shown the door.
Urban Meyer.
What year?
Couple of them. One of them. I don't know.
Gus Malzahn.
I hate you. I hate you so much. Jim Harbaugh. Wait a minute.
No.
Wait a minute.
No, it was at 0.
Wait a minute.
No. What? That was Gene Chizik.
Yeah. And why isn't Harbaugh on the list? We got it, but we got it.
Gene
We got Larry
Wait.
Coker from
2009 to 2023.
We got it. Don't worry about it, dude.
Why Larry Coker's on there for 2001?
Don't worry about it. I think right now you're quibbling in semantics. And I think you need to put the man in semantics and just like be one.
I think you need to stop your antics, otherwise.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, my antics are one more. Well, it's 3-1. You got
Well,
nothing.
Family Feud rules.
You got nothing.
This one's worth 3.
This one's worth nothing.
Teams that use a shade of
orange in their color scheme. Okay.
In general?
In life, dude. In life. Are you ready? Yeah. She could be a Tennessee fan. Tennessee.
UTEP.
Jokes on Alabama. What's that?
UTEP.
UTEP?
Yeah. The Roadrunners.
Yeah, no, I'm aware. Oregon State. Beavers much.
Oh.
Beavers much.
Okay.
Beavers much.
Go Pokes, Oklahoma State.
Go Pokes.
Go Oklahoma
the
State.
Fighting Illini, Illini in Champ Vegas.
Whoa, wow. What school is that?
Illinois.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm posturing a little bit. Greatest journalism school of all time? Syracuse.
Hate you. Okay. All right. That's part of that is true. Let's go with Clemson.
Great call on Clemson.
I'm going to hot potato this right back at you.
I don't know what to do because I think I'm going to go Arizona State.
I heard, no, Arizona State is not, it's
The
not
flame?
orange. It's
The
not
flame?
The flame.
What color is the flame?
It's not orange.
What?
I was going to say Miami. I was going to volleyball it back to you. I win again.
What?
I am tired of
Time out.
the lack of, I'm tired of the lack of competition. That's a
Time out.
young Randy Scott. That's 2015
It's
Randy
a good-looking
Scott.
Randy Scott.
Yeah,
Stand by.
buddy.
No,
All right.
no.
Well, hey, listen. While you look that up, I'm going to thank the people for watching the kickoff presented by Ram Trucks.
No.
And maybe next week our friend Gary will bring a little more effort to the battle of the anchor weights, because right now he's in the bitter bar.
No, look.
And that's where he's
That's orange,
Thanks,
dude.
everybody.
That is orange. That's orange. That's orange. Yeah. You already saw it.
You have to trust him. You'll have to
What
trust
color is fire? Orange. They're the Sun Devils.